Alright, there's scavengers in the area. Stick close and keep an eye out.
Got it.
Hey, you're watching AFox, and today we are on The Last of Us Factions, as you can see. This is like one of the few times you'll see me play Factions and actually have it footaged on my channel. But today I thought that I would actually upload some gameplay because I actually play this game a shit ton. And I actually play it probably more than COD at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of getting a lot better at it. I kind of want to get into the role, like into the flow of being good at it. Just because I kind of really want to like start streaming this game. And it's still my favourite game, so I prefer the feeling of this and the pace of this, so I've been playing it a lot. Anyway, today I wanted to give you guys a bit of a loadout video. I wasn't planning on making a loadout video. I kind of just wanted to show you some footage. As you can see, I'm kind of playing alright today. This was actually footage from my first match of the day. Usually it takes me like 2 or 3 matches to get it kind of into the swing of things, especially with the hunting rifle. I feel like I kind of need to get back in the swing of things because I always use assaults on or SMGs on COD, so it's a lot different pace. I never snipe, so being a lot slower pace on here is kind of, it takes me a little bit to get into. But anyway, today I wanted to kind of talk about this loadout that I've been rocking because I really do like it, and I know that quite a lot of you guys do actually enjoy my Last of Us content, which is surprising considering most of you are COD people. But I hope that it can be of some kind of entertainment for you guys, are kind of useful if you do actually still play Factions. If you do play Factions, leave your gamer tag down below and I will add you because I do want people to play this with. I do tend to like to play alone, but I've kind of got into the swing of just being really like talk efficient when on mic to people. Like the other night I played with some people and we literally were just giving directions, just shout out calls, and it was so good because like we was just like, it's different when I play with my clan because like we just chat about complete shit all the time. Whereas like with these random people, you literally focus on the game, what's going on in front of you, and it feels really good. So I want to kind of add more people that I can have that sort of, we're in a game, we need to talk about what's going on so we can survive and do this. So if you're up for that, then yeah, leave your gamer tag in below and I will add you. But yeah, let's get on with the actual loadout I wanted to discuss. After ranting for 2.5 minutes, holy shit. But as you can probably tell from the title, this class is called Hunting the Hunters, because you are using a hunting rifle. I know, so creative, aren't I? But this class is kind of like really stealthy. Of course, I'm going to have covert training on it, but I'm going to get around to the like perks that I've got on, well, perks, traits, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's actually called. I have COD loadouts embedded in my brain. But first of all, let's start with the actual guns I've got, and I have a 9mm pistol. I don't really tend to use pistols very often on here, and they're kind of like my backup in case I run out of ammo or in case I'm like in a desperate call for quick action. Like especially with using a rifle, I feel like you kind of need to have a good pistol backing you up just in case you do get in those moments where you can't just, you know, reload and get that shot in time. So I do have the 9mm pistol because I personally think that it's a little bit more effective than the revolver and the shorty costs, and that means I wouldn't be able to afford to have all the things I do on my loadout if I had to purchase a shorty as well. Even though I do really like the shorty, I have a shorty shitty loadout and I did make a video on that one because I was really loving it, and I still really do. I haven't played it for a while. I should probably do that. But enough waffling, I could actually move on to what makes the Hunting the Hunters loadout, the Hunting Hunters loadout, which is the hunting rifle. I can't believe I actually said that well. But basically, the hunting rifle is what I'm rocking here, and I'm using it, not silence. I know that sounds really like, what the hell, why would you do that, considering I did say that this loadout is kind of to be stealthy and sneak up on the enemies and hunt them, as opposed to them knowing where you are and being able to hunt you. But there's 2 reasons that I don't have the silence version of this. One is because A, I don't have enough slots because I prefer having the extra add-ons that I've got on here, like the perks, as opposed to having a silenced weapon. So I've kind of cancelled out for that reason, and also because I do actually quite like the idea of being quite a big threat to the enemies. I personally think that if you hear someone on the other team with a non-silenced hunting rifle and you hear that big boom across the map, you're like, well shit, I've got to fucking watch my arse 10 times more than I usually have to. So it kind of makes you feel a little bit more threatening, and it kind of does, I guess, just bring a little bit of fear to the enemy team, I suppose. It does personally to me anyway. I'm a bit like, fuck's sake. So I guess I kind of like that idea, which is another reason that I like to not have this gun silenced. But yeah, that's mainly the reason that I'm rocking it not silenced. But moving on to the bulk of this loadout, which kind of makes it the hunter's loadout. I've got covert training level 3 running, and I know, don't say it, I know a lot of people think that it's a cheap thing to run. I don't know why, I really don't, because I think it is so goddamn useful, but a lot of people seem to have bad opinions about people that rock covert training. I don't know, I think it's just because people get killed a lot when they check up on an area and they know there's no enemy there because they're in covert training, and then boom, they get killed, and it's just annoying, I guess. But it's so useful, especially if you are trying to be sneaky and you do want to approach your enemies without them knowing where you are. It means you can move about the map so much quicker and easier because they don't know where you're going, especially if you're crouch walking. And that shiv, man, is just so useful. I cannot run a loadout without covert training. I've done it before, and every time I've gone to try and sneak up on an enemy, I've gone to go in for that shiv kill, and then I'm just like, why aren't they dying? And then I get turned on and shivved or killed myself because I didn't have one myself. So covert training just kind of really does help you in those situations, and it's also just pretty useful for the fact that you can't be marked as well on level 3. So if you are rocking this hunting loadout and you know, you've got that booming loud hunting rifle, it doesn't matter because as soon as you don't aim, they're not going to know where you are because you're crouching, so you're off the radar, and you can also not be marked, so your enemies can think that you're going to be in one location, and you can move from one to another really quick and easy without them knowing. So you kind of don't even need to have a silenced weapon when you've got covert training level 3 running, I personally think. Now the next perk I have got equipped kind of complements my level 3 covert training with the fact that I can't be marked because my marks last 3 seconds longer and my enemies also glow. That's for the level 2 Hawk-Eyed, and I cannot tell you guys how useful it is having your enemies glow through the walls. It's so useful for you and your teammates. I think it's one of the things that's beneficial, so saying you decide you are sniping, so you're kind of keeping yourself out of the main action, and you know, you can sort of be afar and mark enemies and not get too involved with what's going on, and that's going to really help out your teammates, and if they get the kill then you get points for that as well. So it's just an extra easy way to get possibly more points. I also really value it for the fact that, you know, you can see where they're going to through the walls, and you get to know how they are reacting to being marked. That's if they even are aware that they've been marked. So you get that upper hand on where they're going to, and so it's just really easy, and it helps the whole tracking your enemies and hunting them down. So that's the reason I really personally like this. And the fact that it lasts 3 seconds longer when you mark people is really, I think, kind of catches your enemies out, because I think most people know when they've been marked and they sort of sit still for a few seconds, and I don't think a lot of people expect it to last as long as it does sometimes. So you can kind of catch them out in the fact that they might start moving again even though they've paused, and you'll actually catch where they're going to anyway. So yeah, that's the reason that I really like having this running. The next perk I've got equipped is just level 1. It's just a 1-pointer, and it's awareness. It means that your enemy name tags remain on screen for 5 seconds when you take damage. Now, I don't have it equipped in this video because I changed it from what I had before to this awareness because I realized that I stupidly had strategist level 1 equipped because I just needed an extra slot to take up, and I just chose that one. Why not? But then I realized I have covert training level 3 running, so I don't know what I was doing about that. But yeah, basically this level 1 awareness is actually super useful. You do have to purchase it, but I can tell you guys it's really worth it. If you want to stalk your enemies and you want to have the upper hand on knowing where they are, etc, etc, then having this equipped will allow you to do that, because it's going to let you know where they are when, say, you were trying to sneak up on an enemy and you think there might be one guy and there's no one else around you because you're lone wolfing yourself or something like that, and then boom, someone shoots you. You're going to know where they are because their mark comes up in screen, which is really useful because then you can turn around and shoot them down instead of tracking the person you was aiming at possibly before. And it does mean that, you know, you're less likely to get jumped on and just shot from nowhere because you'll be able to find out where they are. And I think that's really helpful in those sort of situations. I think another reason that awareness is probably a pretty good perk to have is because, say for instance you are sniping and you are doing pretty darn well, the enemy team probably are going to be a bit pissed off with you, and it's very likely that someone's going to turn and start using their sniper too, just so they can have that feeling against you and be like, bitch, I'm going to get my own back on you. I personally like to do that quite a lot. Say someone's using a shotgun, I get really pissed off when people are using those, especially the fucking tactical gun. Cannot stand it. So I end up using it myself just so I can be like, look, bitch, let me show you how it's done. So I kind of feel like maybe it can save your ass in those sort of scenarios where someone's like, right, I'm gonna get this bitch, and starts randomly shooting at you with their sniper. You're gonna know where they're coming from and it'll save your ass. And the Hunting Hunters loadout would not be the Hunters Hunting loadout without what you're going to need to help hunt, which is Sharp level 2, which allows you to use the listen mode meter for 20% longer, and you can also regenerate it 30% faster. Now that, I think, is pretty self-explanatory as to why it's useful. Listen mode is going to be your best friend when you're trying to, you know, stalk your enemies. You're not going to be able to stalk them when you don't know where they're going to. And having that meter regenerate quicker means you can get straight back into it, especially if you are trying to find out where they are, because no one can see them. Say, for instance, near the end of the match as well, when people kind of tend to hide in corners. It's pretty useful. It means you can just quickly run around the map, quickly pop in and pop back out, and, you know, it's not going to cause you a problem. And then also the fact that it stays in for 20% longer is amazing. Who doesn't want that? But anyway, as you can see, this video is over, and I hope you enjoyed it and it was useful, and I will see you guys soon. But until then, bye!